Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Pro Bowler Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders take on Joe Flacco and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single...
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And what a performance in his last game. Couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
Now a play fake here on first down. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Get down.
On second down, here's Carr. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Carr intercepted by Brandon Carr. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Operating off play action, Flacco. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Crabtree the target on that one. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 4 catches, 51 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be at the end today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Passing play. Flacco underneath to Allen. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Operating out of the gun. Flacco. Hard throw. Incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Sam Cook now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taking it about the 36. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They run again on 1st down, Lynch. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. A look now at the Oakland offense.
Coming out of the backfield is Marshawn Lynch, and there was so much attention on him in 2017 after a year away from the NFL, and he produced with over 800 yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground. But I thought they started slowly with him in 2017. I think in 2018, he's going to get the ball pretty fast and pretty often.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And the third down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here's Flacco. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's a first down run with Collins. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On second down, Collins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Got a man, it's Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Well, when you think of these two teams, two franchises, Baltimore and Oakland, Charles, what comes to mind?
Well, the ghost to the post in the late 1970s, but remember, that was the Baltimore Colts, who are now in Indianapolis. These are the Ravens, who came from Cleveland and formerly were the Browns.
They also have some history, though. The Ravens, between these two teams, won an AFC championship game in 2001. Also beat a Derek Carless Raiders 30-17 in Oakland a year ago. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Allen here on the screen. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, this from 34. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Carr gives to Marshawn. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Finds Roberts left side. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Fielded just inside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now here come the Ravens. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The numbers for Collins last week, 24 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start on the ground with Lynch, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Now after the play, it's Marshawn Lynch who appears to have been shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is taken at the 18. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's the Ravens out in front. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Collins. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Collins, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They go play action here on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. To Allen on the dump off. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the 1st half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know what else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Get down.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this 1st half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the 1st quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They run with Collins, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Flacco from the gun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to air one out. They've got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Carr gives to Rashard. And the ball is knocked out. And the Ravens have got it.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on second. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Collins. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 11, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Second down, Flacco now. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets it down to the 32. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a give to Collins. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Flacco here on 2nd down. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And here's the Ravens defense as they head back out there now. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball. And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Carr. It's caught. Nelson. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
Well, maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. But I think he felt like he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast. And
he gets it down to the 32. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Carr again. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Tavecchio puts this one through, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Flacco once more. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. This is taken at the 15. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. First carry for Doug Martin, the two-time Pro Bowler in Tampa. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The drive starts with a run by Collins. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Flacco. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. This is Collins on the handoff. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Flacco from midfield. Powering his way forward. It's complete to Brown, right side. First down Ravens as Flacco finds the former Cardinal John Brown. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Flacco gives to Allen. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll try the right side with Collins. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 3rd down, Flacco from the gun. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. That one goes for 24 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
On 1st down, Flacco. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Buck Allen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the 1st half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit. Let them catch their breath.
They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Yes, they have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. To throw on 3rd down. Carr. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Ravens taking the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business. 3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Now Flacco. He's got Snead. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st. Flacco now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Flacco off play action. He's going to fire one deep. He's got it at the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Allen here on the screen.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic first down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Here's Flacco. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
False start, offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
Now Carr, and Bryant's got it over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run the counter with Martin. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Carr. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. First down, Raiders. The former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr. Now a handoff to Richard. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Down! 185!
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. to throw on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the gun, it's Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And he fends him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Carr. He finds Roberts, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Carr going to throw. Drops it off to Martin. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's a 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. Carr. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Shotgun now for Carr. Goes underneath to Martin. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
The kick by Tavecchio is good, and they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Flacco here on second down. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Rashaan Melvin. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Crabtree, the intended receiver. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And now here come the Raiders. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Second down, Flacco now. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. So from their own 20 all the way to the red zone now. A chance to capitalize on 1st and 10.
Wait, like 80.
A red zone first down for Flacco. Crabtree with it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Jordy Nelson now trotting back out there on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Nelson. A good pickup there at 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Carr now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On 2nd down, Martin. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a gain of a yard there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. From the gun, Carr. And he finds Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, A nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
He will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. He's back to throw. He completes it to Bryant. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. They'll run. Martin. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. Fighting to stay up. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Carl Davis in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They are in the 4th and Buffalo. And that one's gone back and forth, and it's the Jags that have scored to take the lead. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen.
A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Money! Set!
To an goes Flacco, and that should be it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Ravens, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.